99 FM, welcome to it. If you've just joined us, this is The Pulse. I am Sibo, and like we said, I'm just looking forward to today's talk. That was sounds of Aliyah saying, try again. I miss Aliyah. I just wanted to take that moment just to share that with all of you, because I'm sure we all miss Aliyah. But she left us something magical. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. It's time now for Women Crush, which this week is proudly brought to you by NAMED. And as you are well aware, Women Crush every day on 99 FM is commemorating Cancer Awareness Month all week, thanks to NAMED. And today I'm joined in studio with two phenomenal, absolutely amazing, fantastic, and they're going to be talking to us about their journey through health from different perspective. And I have in studio Anthea Mons, Operations Manager for Paramount Healthcare Medical Aid Administration, and Hermien Elago, the current Global Speaker Federation Ambassador for Namibia. I mean, ladies, talk about titles. And we're all decked out in our pinkness.
Yes, we are.
How are you ladies doing?
I'm really good.
Yeah?
I really, really am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Honestly, I love our teas. Our teas look absolutely...
Hakuna Matata.
No, it says Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
No, for the rest of your days. For the absolute rest of your days. Now, for those that are not familiar so much with Anthea or Hermien, Joe, how would we describe you? 3 words that you would say, this describes who I am.
You go.
Okay, I guess ultimately I'm just a storyteller. Yeah, I use the power of story and the vehicle of fitness to overcome limiting beliefs, and I help others do the same in a sentence.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Oh, how do I even top that? Well, I guess I'm like a mom, a wife, a sister, a daughter, and I'm just going through life trying to help other people be their best selves, you know? So like less about me, more about what I can do for other people.
Let's talk about what you can do for other people, but before then, touching on your own personal health journey.
Gosh, so pretty much started out like the rest of us, thinking that I could do it all, be it all, giving my everything, and then my body was just like, hold up, this is not going to be happening anymore. And then I still didn't listen, so my body was like, okay, so now I'm going to put in all these like limiting things, so I had to slow down. So that's like bad part of it. Right, and then I was one of the first people to get stem cells in Namibia, and following that, just decided to treat my body like the temple that it is. You know, eat clean, focus on mental awareness, focus on the body, spiritual, emotional, all of it. You know, just like combining all of it so that a person can live a balanced life, and that's why I'm here today. Still, obviously having a autoimmune disease, but just being on a much better level. You know.
Yeah, Hermien, your journey to health, how did that begin?
Well, it started at about around about 20. Take 2. It started around about 2013. So I've just struggled with my weight my entire life. I come from a family of women who have like larger than life personalities and who are also just larger than life, full stop. And so I was always told my entire life, you know, like, you're never going to be able to change. It is in your genes. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, and the genes thing. So I was just like, this is my lot in life. And then in 2013, you know, I was struggling to like tie my own shoelaces and all of these kind of things. And I was like, but these are basic things. Like, I was put on this earth to like do stuff and I can't even tie my own shoelaces. Like, this can't be life. So I just decided to go against all the negative words. And because I couldn't find any stories that I could relate with, it was always like, you know, the before and then the perfect after. And I was like, but what about that messy in between? Because that's where 98% of us live. And I was like, I want to tell that story about the in between, the up and down and the fluctuation, because that always happens. The going back to old habits and binge eating and emotional eating. And when I started speaking up about this stuff, like, I found that there's a lot of people in Namibia who didn't even know that emotional eating or binge eating was a thing. They were just like, so you're not just greedy, or like, I was like,
or craving things. You're not just craving things.
You're not just craving things. And I was like, no, it's an actual thing. Like, it's my fallback and my addiction. And I was speaking to one of the, you know, people from your awesome team earlier, and I mentioned that for most of us, it's actually not about aesthetics. It really isn't. It's really just about healing.
True.
Yeah.
it's about healing, and once the healing happens, that's when you realize like your body just wants you to be its friend and to help it heal.
Now, Antheas, just to piggyback off the healing part of it, because it's the hardest road that you will have to embark on. Personally, just to talk about health and fitness, I remember when I had to get into getting, healthy, I did not like how my body felt. Like, it felt heavy. Everything just seemed so exhausting. Like, and also that realization, how did I allow myself to get here? How did this? So now the blame game and the other. But for you ladies, how have you maintained your sanity in your journey to health? Because I don't know, guys, it's a lot.
Listen, first off, support structure. I mean, this woman right here is my tribe. Okay. And I suppose family, friends, I mean, everybody who's around you, backing you 24/7. I mean, I am fueled by humans. And I suppose one of the very big things was sharing. Coming back to what Hermien says, is when you share, people can relate, and they are so inspired and they're so encouraged, and that just makes you want to be better and you want to carry on pushing. So I think for me, everybody around me, these human beings that I have surrounded myself with, is what has kept me going, because I'm not only doing it for me, but I'm doing it for all of them. I should actually only be doing it for me, but I have to do it for all of you too. Okay? Yeah. And then obviously just like establishing a balance, a person needs to take a step back and go, I cannot be it all, and I cannot do it all, and just balancing it all, mind, body, spiritual, emotional, all of it balanced.
Now, Hermien, for some, they don't have the luxury really of having like a great support system.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you come from a family that's larger than life, we're all larger than life.
Yes.
Now you start working out. Now you're making the rest of us look bad because now you have to look at yourself, right? Like if you start looking good, then I don't have an excuse anymore to look good. So now you have wet blankets all over you. But what are you doing? Just eat the chicken and this is what we bought. We bought our things. Just eat, we go. So if you don't have like a good support system and all you have is self, how do you maintain?
Okay, so I think it's really similar to what we're experiencing now with COVID.
Yeah.
When the entire world falls away and you're asked to go within, really go within.
Yeah.
And I think it's been the exact same thing for me, where I put tools into place, and because I'm a professional speaker, I've learned one thing: motivation does not last.
Yeah.
It really, really doesn't. Like, we could do like a whole motivational thing right now. I walk out of here, a taxi cuts me off, and all that motivation. There goes the motivation. But tools are so, like, they're lasting, and habits. So I think one of the biggest things for me is meditation, which is something that I really learned to do recently, and that's really helped me. Journaling, that's also been, really helpful, because those two things, they kind of really reinforce who you are on the inside, and you're always able to go back into yourself, and what they do is they magnify the voice of your higher self, which is like the voice that knows everything, that's like the real badass is the higher self, and it magnifies that. So in those situations when people are coming and there's kickback and stuff, that voice speaks over all of that. Even when you're in a crowd, you're able to hear yourself, and I think that has really been helpful, because I know a lot of people don't have support. I know of women who started the journey and then their husbands got mad at them, and they were like, no, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think at some point, when everything else falls away, you're really all you've got. So really fortify and magnify that voice, give it a mic. And that mic is, like, for me, meditation and journaling and practicing mindfulness and stillness.
Take a step back, be quiet, and just listen.
What she said.
Anthea, how do you, because Hermien touched on amplifying the voice. Now there's another voice that's the saboteur. The one that's just also the voice of other people that you've taken in to be your own voice, and it's going, "Why you really? This is what we're doing now. You really think you can do it? Do you really?" How do you turn down the volume to that imposter syndrome and to that voice that says, "Look at you only lost."
I just want to go inside and just murder this imposter syndrome half the time. I must say, just like her, I am very big into meditation, yoga, quieting down the mind, just taking a step back, breaking it all down, and just going, wait, I need to stop putting all these limiting thoughts and these limiting beliefs into my mind. I'm the only person holding me back.
Yeah.
you know. So, but it takes a lot of work. It takes, like, you can't just wake up in the morning and think, okay, if I just carry on with my everyday work, that, or everyday doings, that I'm not going to have this whole imposter syndrome coming in. You need to take the time. You need to journal in the morning. You need to sit back and meditate 3 times a day, 4 times a day, even if it's walking meditation. There are no excuses for self-care and looking after your physical being.
So putting in the work. Hermien, what's your, I know there's a lot, but one lesson that stands out for you in this journey?
Gosh.
Because she's got like 728.
Hence I said, I know that there's
like they're all running around. I'm just trying to grab one and bring it in. Honestly, no one in this world should believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and I think that is the one that I stand by, because and the reason why that's the one I'm choosing to pick is because I learned very early on, you know, because I was living by people's praise and then I'd die by their criticism very quickly, you know. And then it's like, and you get swayed about and you get tossed about, and then, you know, you gain a little bit of weight, you're too ashamed to go back into the gym. And then you lose the weight and then you want to show the whole world. And I was just like, no, like this really has to be about you, and it really has to be about yourself, and because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. So I think that's my biggest thing, is just like, let it be about you. Let it be about yourself, and about like you really working on yourself for you. True. Because everything else is just noise. Even the cheers. It's just noise. Yeah.
Anthea, a lot of us are very ignorant of autoimmune diseases, very much so. And I know it's such a broad subject, and I'm not going to let you like expand on it.
Carry on for like 2 hours
about it. But in a nutshell, in layman's terms, your autoimmune disease, if you could define it.
Well, most people's autoimmune diseases are your own body misinterprets the cells in your body, and they basically go on the attack and they want to go for it. So most people can't see autoimmune diseases. So you like look at a person and you're just like, no, but this person's perfectly capable, and that type of stuff. So if anybody out there has got something which they are busy struggling with, you have to get support. You have to speak to people who share that same journeys, because relating to someone just makes you feel better. And if you have no one, call me.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the part that I wanted to get to, because you know, with being obese or overweight, or you can clearly say, oh yeah, you need help. But in terms of autoimmune diseases, do you have a support group? And what advice would you give someone who has just recently been diagnosed?
Well, first off, try and understand what you have got as much as possible, because if you break it down and you just really take a look at what is actually going on, that way you can better treat the whole and not just symptoms as they're busy coming up. And just find support. Even if you're finding professional support, go and speak to a psychologist, a life coach, someone who can help you work through understanding what is happening to your body. But don't just sit back and think that you can do it all alone. I did that, and it was not easy. At times I wanted to bury myself, you know. So get that support. Go out there, try and understand it as much as possible, and don't expect everybody to get it, because they're not going to get it, because they cannot see it. But have compassion and understanding.
Sure. Top 3 health tips from both of you. Hermien, go.
I feel like Anthea should go first this time. Okay. The first thing is, like, all or nothing doesn't work. You know, really be kind to yourself. Like, really just go at it with an 80-10-20 perspective. Because, I mean, ultimately, you are human. That would be the first thing. The second thing is learn to trust the process and stand the test of time. Because there's always something new that's going to come out. Like, you know, it's like, you know, the 28-day thing and then the 30-day thing and that kind of stuff. Like, if you find something that works, just stick the distance with it, because you will fluctuate and you will go through periods where you hit plateaus and stuff. But it's like a relationship. You know, just like work on it and keep working on it. And then, I think I feel like I'm on a game show, and I'm like, who wants to be a millionaire next? And the final thing, I think, is just be compassionate, be kind and compassionate to yourself. Learn how to practice self-friendship.
Yeah.
Honestly, self-friendship, like be your own friend. And a friend would not come to you and beat you up when you've fallen or anything like that, or laugh at you because you've fallen off the wagon or whatever. Like, however you would treat a friend who's on a journey like this, do that for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I suppose mine would be, and I'm obsessed with the word balance. Find balance.
Yeah.
You know, a person cannot go through life working 14 hours a day thinking that you can still exercise and then have time for the fam and then meditate. Just find that balance. You're not going to die if you don't find balance, all right? Secondly, this thing right here. This thing, body, because nobody can see what I'm pointing at, your body is going to be around for a very long time. So even though there's that really beautiful car over there, it's not going to be around as long as this thing, the body, is going to be around, all right? So invest in your health. It's important. And illness is a lot more expensive than living healthy, okay? I am an example of that. And then lastly, I guess, the best one.
Hey.
Do not underestimate long-term stress. Okay? We are all going through a year that nobody has ever experienced before. And long-term stress is a killer. So find those tools, because it's about how you respond to that stress that is going to make all the difference. But do not underestimate it. Don't think that because I've gone 6 months and I'm stressed out of my mind that I'm still going to be able to cope. It does not work like that. Stress messes you up. And I almost swore there. Just to get emphasis.
Beep. Thank you so much for coming, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Support system. Like, I cannot stress, and just talking to you ladies right now has made me feel 10,000 times better. 10,000 times.
It has been wonderful.
Yeah, so my heart is overjoyed right now. We are the Hakuna Matiti. And so we had now in studio Anthea Mons, Operations Manager for Paramount Healthcare Medical Aid Administrators, and Hermien Elago, the current Global Speakers Federation Ambassador for Namibia. Women Crush Every Day, proudly brought to you by Namet.